Hey, what is up everyone? In this video I want to talk to you about why you should be excited for Captaincy in Season 7. So Captains of Adventure is coming out soon, and I've seen a lot of mixed feelings about this both in the comment sections on my videos and just in general in other places on the internet. While some are very excited because this is something they've always wanted, others are worried that the main content surrounding the upcoming season is just going to be some cosmetics added. I would be lying if I said I wasn't also worried about that, but in this video I want to take a more positive look at the upcoming Captaincy update, and maybe if you're worried about the new season, hopefully quell those fears. So as we all know now, Season 7 is focused on something players have wanted since the game launched over 4 years ago, and that is Captaincy. But what is Captaincy? The easiest way I can think of describing it is basically the ability to actually own your own ship. Currently in game, we think of the ship we get as being our own. It really doesn't feel like that. It almost feels like you're renting out a ship every time you get on, and you're borrowing the ship until you're done playing that day. Nothing from your previous adventures continues with you, and it makes the connection to your ship a bit lacking. I know for me personally, I love customizing the ship and sailing around with it, but I don't necessarily care too much what happens to it. Heck, almost every time my crew and I get off the game, we burn the ship down and watch it sink. The ships we use now in game to play are completely temporary, and Season 7 will hopefully change that. The first, and in my opinion the easiest way of achieving that goal of making the ship your own, is the ability to name your ship. This is confirmed to be coming, and I think while this is kind of a small update, something I feel they could have added a long time ago, this I think people will really enjoy and will make your adventures in Sea of Thieves even more engaging. Say for example you hear of this infamous crew online or by other players in the game or the server that you're in, and then you go and have this epic fight with them. I find it way more fun to say, oh, we had this amazing epic battle fighting the crew of the Cursed Blade or something like that, rather than saying we had an amazing battle with another group. Still the same fight and overall experience, but it adds so much more to the fun of engaging with other crews. I also think it will better bond you and your friends who can truly say that they are part of the same crew together. I really do think that because Rare has taken so long to implement this, and Captaincy is such a tentpole feature of Season 7, I think there's a lot more they haven't told us about this and other stuff that's coming in Season 7 that will make these experiences better than we're imagining right now. Obviously nameplates can't support a season on its own, so what else do we have coming? Along with purchasing and naming a ship, they're adding new cosmetic types to customize your ship even more. I know I said I want to take a more positive take in this video, but I'll be honest, this is probably my biggest concern with Captaincy. I'm not concerned that we're getting more things to customize. That's always great and something I hope we get even more of, like I talked about in another recent video. What I'm concerned about is 3 things. First, I think it's kind of weird to make it presumably that only captain ships are getting these new cosmetic types, like the voyage table being able to be customized. I get that they need to give players a reason for wanting to buy captain ships, but I feel like this should have been available on all ships, both regular and captain ships. What I think should be the actual draw of captain ships goes to my second concern. When I think of Captaincy, I think of fully owning and customizing my ship. With that, we should be able to reorganize the layout of our ships. If I want the food barrel on the sloop to be on the right side instead of the left, I should be able to do that with Captaincy update. Now, full customization is very ambitious, and I don't expect that from Rare. However, what I would like to see, and I think is achievable, is having new preset layouts that on a captain ship you could choose different layouts that would make it feel very different from a regular ship. Right now it currently looks like it's going just to be a few new cosmetic types but the same layout as the regular ships, and I find that disappointing. I mentioned the sloop earlier, and that brings me to my final concern. What we've seen so far has been focused on the galleon, and only a few things that have been shown so far can be customized on the sloop and the brig. So if the new cosmetics are supposed to be the main draw of buying a captain ship, then why would you want to spend however much gold it's going to be buying a captain sloop or a brig? In general, to wrap up this section, I'm excited for new cosmetic types. It adds even more customization to the game, and that's always a great thing. I just think we could have had something a bit better for this kind of concept, and I hope the new additions are added across the board to all ship sizes. Let's get back to being positive with something I'm really looking forward to, and that's trinkets. Something I've talked about in past is how I wanted a trophy system where you could complete achievements such as killing 1,000 megalodons, and you could earn, say, a megalodon tooth as a trophy that could be displayed on your ship. This looks to be exactly what we're getting, and I'm very excited for this. I've never been the type of gamer who likes to achievement hunt or just to unlock a title in game or add to my gamer score or whatever. I'm not the type to grind to just get something just to get it. But the idea of accomplishing things and then having a way to show that off in game as a decoration is very appealing to me. I think this will add another layer of progression that goes beyond seasons and can be updated and added to over time as new content comes out and more achievements can be unlocked. While in the previous section I said I thought that they should be available on both captain and regular ships, I think trinkets should be reserved just for captain ships. It makes sense to me, seeing as trinkets are a memento of your adventures, and seeing as the whole point of captaincy is to better connect you to your ship, it makes sense to have your ship the home of all your mementos. Speaking of mementos and remembering your past adventures, I'm very interested in seeing what the captain's log is. They claim it will chronicle your adventures, and that can be really awesome to have if executed properly. While my dream for this idea is probably not how it's actually going to work in game, I hope that as we play the game it will track what we do and basically write a little story of our adventure, maybe even have pictures too. Say you sail and do a voyage fighting some skellies, then you get into an epic battle with a Reaper emissary. The log could perhaps write about something like, "We bravely fought some mystical skeletons before encountering the crew of the Cursed Blade, who served the Servant of Flame. After an epic battle we were able to send their crew down to the depths and claim their loot as our own." While I don't know if Rare are able to do something like that yet, that might take a lot of machine learning and stuff that they just aren't prepared to implement yet, I think whatever this captain's log turns out to be, I think it will be a great addition. Speaking of adventures, we will apparently be getting a new captain voyage to do. Presumably this will be given to us by the new sovereign company being added. We'll talk more about them next, but looking at the new voyage, I was a bit harsher on my first video talking about the announcement of Season 7, and my criticism was that I felt like they would probably do something similar to the original Pirate Legend voyage, where it would just be a mashup of the original 3 voyages in the game. I could definitely see the Captain voyage being a mashup of, say, the newer voyages that we've gotten, such as the Ancient Vaults, the Ghost Ship Fleet, and the Merchant Lost Shipment voyages. I really don't like that idea because I think it would take way too long to complete, and it's just like the original Pirate Legend voyages. If you enjoyed doing those voyages, just do them individually. I don't think there's a reason to combine them. Let's instead think of a new voyage they could do. If I were to guess, I would assume they would do something similar to the Legend of the Veil voyage, which feels more cinematic and it's a bit of a mix between a tall tale and a regular voyage, to create something very unique. I think that would go over a lot better with players, and it would surprise me if it wasn't connected in some way to an upcoming adventure and added later on in the season, just like how the Legend of the Veil was in Season 6. Hopefully we do see something unique, but until we get more information about it, we really can't speculate too much on what this could be, because it really could be anything. Let's go ahead and move on to the Sovereign that I mentioned earlier. I have a lot of mixed feelings regarding this, and it seems to me Rare noticed that players, especially older players who have maxed out all the main trading companies like me, would rather sell all of our stuff at Reaper's Hideout, since it can go all to the same person. You don't really have to think about what you're selling and where to go. It's also really easy for me when I'm taking someone that's a bit of a newer player, and I can just say, sell everything to the same person. You don't need to figure out, oh, chests go to the gold hoarders, crates go to the merchants. You don't have to think about any of that. The Sovereign are being added to the secondary dock on each outpost, and you'll be able to sell your loot to them instead of going to the individual trading companies. I feel like this in part hurts PvP, as it removes a bit of strategy in selling at the outpost. While I think this is fine at Reaper's Hideout since it's the only spot you can do it at, and it's at the center of the map, making it a lot more risky to sell there. A lot of ships are passing by that area, and usually if someone sees you there, they'll come over and try to sink you and see what you're doing. So I think there's a good trade-off there in terms of easy selling versus riskiness of selling there. I would have rather preferred the Sovereign have their own voyage and type of loot that was only available to captain ships and their crews, similar to what we have for Pirate Legends. I also hope we see with the Sovereign a new progression system to level through, like we have with other companies like the Gold Hoarders or the Reaper's Bones. I want something to progress through and earn rewards for. I'm a bit concerned that the Sovereign are not going to be a full-fledged company and rather just an easy place to sell stuff. But hopefully there's more to it than what we've seen in the announcement trailer. The last thing I want to talk about in regards to Captaincy is all the little stuff. I think this season is going to be more similar to Season 5 with lots of little additions as opposed to Season 6 which had a few big additions. Stuff like finally being able to save our ship customizations between rounds is going to save so much time, and I think that's always a positive. I truly think a lot of stuff has yet to be shown to us, and I think all the little stuff together will make Season 7 great. If nothing I've said so far has convinced you, maybe this next point will. Season 7 is the summer season, which is usually when games as a service bring their best content of the year, as many players have more free time since school is out, or they take vacation days or whatever. Last year we got the Pirates of the Caribbean update, which was the biggest update we had to the game last year. Season 7 should be the same, being the biggest, most exciting season of the year, and that should make you at least hopeful that this upcoming season will be more than just adding some new cosmetics. I think this is going to be a big fundamental change, and I'm trying to be as hopeful as I can for everything that's coming. But that's all I have for this video. I would love to hear what y'all think about everything I've talked about in this video and what you're most looking forward to in Season 7. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you hit the like and subscribe. And if you're feeling nostalgic, maybe take a look at this video covering the history of Sea of Thieves. But that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.